this is Peter from crunchyguitar.com. That's crunchyguitar.com. Please come see us on the website. There's lots of great stuff there, and there's more being added every day. We're really wanting to relate to all things guitar and all things about great jamming music. So come check us out. Come see it. We've got a lot of stuff there that a lot of other people don't have. And we want to talk to you today about some more of those two-string vamps because Dave's got some interesting variations from the last lesson, which I think will be really fun to learn. So it's yours, dude.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically last time in our the first lesson on the two-string vamps, we just went over that basic move, yeah. And there are a few different variations you can do, and this is one of the things where if you are doing a jam with one other guitar player and you want to have some ways to do some different things chorus to chorus, you can slowly bring in some of these variations. So I'm going to show you a couple different things that you can do. One of them is to come up here with your pinky. So as you're doing this basic vamp, and that's one measure long.
Remember what a stretch that was when we were little kids?
It's a huge, it still feels like a stretch. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And this will feel like a stretch to you when you get started. What you're doing is you're replacing that move, coming back to this note, with this note. So you're going up, 4th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret, and back. And so you can take that on all the chords. The 4 chord, back to the 1 chord. And then when you go to the 5 chord, it'll look like this. So it's a real easy way to change things up. A very simple way to change things up. It's not necessarily easy because it is kind of a big stretch. So you may want to just practice putting your fingers down on the fretboard like this, trying to get it, make that stretch, just sort of moving around like that. And gradually your fingers will start to let you do
What's
that.
cool about this is that something that you learn in maybe a couple of hours or a couple of days will just be so useful for you forever.
Yeah.
I mean, you just use it all the time. Whatever.
Yeah, if you want to hear it in action, like, try to find some records by the bluesman Jimmy Reed from the 50s. He plays this all the time, and like just a bunch of tons of 60s rock and roll stuff. Everybody who plays in a blues vein plays with this kind of move. Jimmy Reed did a lot of stuff in open position and used this a lot. So here's another variation.
Oh, that's a cool one. I like that one.
Now there's a lot of moving parts here. So what's happening is you're always hitting the 2 strings, but what's really happening is this. Like that, it's sort of like a piano boogie woogie left hand line. But while you're doing that, you're hitting both strings, and you're playing it with a shuffle rhythm. And it'll work on all 3 chords as well. The D will sound like this. Will sound like this. So that's another variation. So both of those, if you were playing, if you were jamming and you wanted to go through 3 choruses, you could start off like this and play like that all through the chorus, and then switch to this one, and then switch to this one. And then finally, if you wanted to take it one more step further, lasts for 2 bars. So what's happening is, again, you're still just hitting the 2 strings, but what's wandering through those 2 strings is this. It's all just variations on the stuff we've been doing, but if you can just practice that line single note like this. Palm muting and hit both strings. And I'll play through a whole chorus like that, because what happens is, this doesn't work if you're doing like what they call a quick 4. Like if you're going to the D chord on an A blues right away after 1 bar, this won't work because this whole phrase takes 2 bars.
Right.
If you've got that long form where you're playing A for 4 bars in the blues, then this will work. And when you get to the E and when you get to the turnaround, you have to just shorten it. So you do your shorter version, which we'll call like the 3rd variation we did, and then then you can do this longer one.
So essentially, it's a 4-bar. It's a 4-bar phrase.
It's a 2-bar phrase.
So it's a 2-bar phrase.
And then you have to do the 1-bar, the shorter 1-bar version. So the 3 variations we looked at were this. That's one way to go through it. Here's another one. That's another way. And then the third way, which takes 2 bars, is. And that's a lot to think about right there. So.
Right.
Think about it.
Think about it. That's really cool, though. And of course, that this will give birth to a whole other. You'll think of other things based on this, like all that kind of stuff, using that same kind of area of playing.
Depending on the tempo and the groove of the song.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. Play your chunks. I'll play little licks above it.